Good morning, Western Slope. Happy Monday. I'm Dalen Brazelton. Let's talk about your weather. Folks, it's going to be a great one this week because we are not seeing those high temperatures like we were at the end of last week. At least not quite yet. You can expect a sunshiny filled day today, hanging out in those low 90s, upper 80s for the afternoon. But for right now, we're seeing 60s, and it's going to be a great morning ahead. We've got some windy conditions happening over the next couple of days, but things are kind of starting to die down compared to the weekend. However, red flag warnings still in effect, still seeing those dry conditions. So fire weather is still incredibly possible, especially as the nation is experiencing a heat wave. All that and more in today's full weather forecast. Right now, though, you're waking up to 61 degrees in Grand Junction. Montrose seeing 50 degrees with Delta, seeing just a little bit warmer actually in the low 60s. Paonia and Nucla on either end of the mid 50s. Areas like Moab seeing very similar conditions. However, we've got areas like Glade Park in the mid to low 40s for right now. During these summer months, that's definitely an interesting one here. The morning hours going to be on the cooler end for just a couple hours longer, and then really seeing that gradual increase in temperature over the course of those late morning hours. And then we're seeing those mid to high 80s for the afternoon before peaking in the 90s at about 4 o'clock. Now we've got sunshiny skies all day long. It's expected to remain relatively clear. And we also have that fire weather being extended a couple days longer. Now areas around the Grand Valley going to be seeing up until tomorrow evening that potential for fire to really continue, especially as things stay dry and that wind continues to pick up. Now, we talked about this heat wave a little bit to the central and northeast part of the United States. This high pressure was originally sitting over near the Four Corner region and kind of just continued to move through the area. And then certain regions near us are kind of starting to dip in temperature actually, which is definitely a welcome change over here. For that dog walking forecast, we got Virgil hanging out with us here all week long, and it's going to be actually a great day to take your dog out for a walk. We got those mid 50s for the morning hours, and then hanging out in the mid 60s and then the upper 70s. Before noon today, things relatively mild, so if you want to take old Virgil here out for a walk, this is the day to do it, folks, because we've got some little, very, very slight breezes throughout the morning here. Now, for that pollen outlook, weeds and mold are in that low category. Grasses, of course, being the main concern right now. With all these wind speeds, though, picking up, that's really what's going to be pushing some of these. So over the course of the morning hours, things are relatively mild. Some areas like Nucla, Montrose kind of picking up a little bit. And then the afternoon rolls around, and that's where certain areas really start to pick up as that gradient band kind of tightens, and then the evening time rolls around and we're seeing those double digits for a majority of the region now. As we head into the overnight hours, things kind of mellowing out a little bit, but the wind gusts are really going to start picking up in those afternoon to evening hours across the region where things are going to be relatively mild and then starting to pick up throughout the day. As we look ahead to that Discovery Auto Group 7-day forecast, 90s for today, and then slowly warming up ever so slightly up through the week. Now, we're going to be kind of riding that average for a while and then right back up near triple digits at the end of the week. Montrose, slightly cooler with the same idea, seeing those mid 80s for the first half of the week, and then things kind of heating up from there. So it's going to be a pretty good start to the week.